let me back up. You're supposed to meet Margie, right?
How do you know Margie?
See, I'm subbing in for her.
You're what?
I'm your substitute date, Jimmy. When you get stood up for the third time, and sorry about that, you automatically get bumped up to elite status on the SmackDat app. Third time's a charm.
Hold on. So you're my fill-in date?
Senior member experience specialist, thank you.
We went from kind of a kooky concept where I was like, oh, this is a fun concept, super funny, a date replacement. And she seemed lovely and vibrant, and it was all quite offbeat and bizarre. Yet it unfolded into something that felt really deep and honest, and we really got there. And I think it was earned because we had that suspension of disbelief, and I was kind of expecting just the humor to permeate. And while it was still funny, it was also, yeah, really lovely and hopeful. I thought the performances were great. They were definitely living in the same world. They had a great volleying back and forth, and a believability, absolutely. So it was really nice to see this concept brought to life and kind of exploded, push the boundaries of it a little bit, and then reward us at the end with something that, yeah, felt very authentic. I thought the pacing was really great. There was no kind of dull moments. They kind of kept it going, kept it speedy without rushing us through, so that when we got to those moments near the end, there was that nice like open space to really let it wash over us and indulge in it.
This was really interesting to me, the way that the tone of this in the beginning, it really felt very kind of almost sitcom-y. The pace, and with the date not showing up and then the girl swooping in to kind of be his substitute. And then it sort of seemed to slow down to more of a romantic comedy feel. So to me, there was like a little few different styles of, you know, styles, I guess, of this film, which was interesting. It kind of kept me on my toes, not really sure where it was going to go. I love the SmackDat app. That was hilarious. I thought it was a really cute script and fun performances by everyone. I like that she's a senior member experience specialist. It made me laugh too. Nice wardrobe and cinematography, and like I said, nice performances, and everything technically was there for me. I thought it was really cute, and at first it did throw me off with a different feel of like how it transitioned, but then I kind of got into it as more of a romantic comedy, so that didn't bother me too much. It was a little bit of a fun experience seeing how the styles seem to be a little bit different within the same film.
Its theme of anxiety. I loved how the short film portrayed it in a way that it isn't necessarily done in the general mainstream media. I love how instead of going the drama route, you've gone with this rom-com by showing us how this one character suffers from anxiety, from tapping his shoes to thinking about people staring at him, and how by the end he decides to not let it control or consume him, and rather accept and move on. This was a fun and engaging watch.
Sweet and charming film, and funny. Just really great writing and great delivery by our two leads here. They're back and forth. The way they play off each other, and just that dynamic was great. Handled really well. Just really good timing too, and editing. The way the jokes land, and even just right at the end, the look she gives and the where it cuts. It's perfect. Really a fine attention to that sort of detail, and just there's clearly a strong filmmaking sensibility behind this piece, because it's really put together really well. Again, written well, and the performances are great.
The concept of this film is quite interesting. The idea that a dating service will provide somebody if somebody keeps getting stood up. And in this case, they actually worked well together. They had a good chemistry, whereas really she's just doing her job. So better things in the end, I guess, but it is a very interesting concept for this film. It's the idea that a dating service would send somebody else when you keep getting stood up. And they send an email to notify it. It's really just amusing, and a nice idea because it worked out for the two of them, but for others it probably doesn't. It really seems like a weird service, but it works. And within this era of dating, especially a lot of it being connecting online, it would be a great way to get other relationships where you send like a backup instead, when really it's a weird concept, but I get where it would be nice and insulting at the same time.
What set it apart for me was the clever banter throughout, notably between the waiter and the date sub, and between the date sub and the lead. There was a lot of heartfelt sentiment in the script, which moved from light to more profound. I enjoyed the location choices, especially the cute bookstore, and the chemistry between the two leads was very strong. Clever artwork montage during the soulful poetry reading, and lots of awesome facial close-ups.